Brought to you by WKTV, I'm Wayne Thomas. Welcome to the 25th episode of Grand Rapids Ghost Hunters Paranormal Podcast. Thank you for joining our forum. Buckle in as we delve deep into the obscure in search of paranormal possibilities. We will come back to that silly intro, but first, let's meet and welcome back co-host Kim Kolean.
Hi, thank you everybody. Thank you Wayne, thank you Mary. My name is Kim Kolean. I just want to make sure everyone listening today and watching, please keep an open mind about things you might not easily believe as we explore the mysterious. Welcome Mary Bassett. She has many titles. She is from Spiritual Voices podcast, Cryptic Frequencies, and she does astrological forecasts. And I'd like to maybe start off real quickly, because I know we have a lot to cover tonight, on the eclipse season and how it relates over the next 6 months with the full moons, and how it relates to this, what's coming with the viruses and stuff like that.
Well, with the eclipse season, we go through eclipse season every year.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it lasts over the 6-month period, and it's all about karmic endings and beginnings and kind of discovering which path we're going to end up on. So a lot of times when, let's say we're going to manifest for a full moon, a lot of times that's not going to come into full fruition until 6 months from now.
Okay.
So we're all meeting people right now and creating partnerships, and a lot of the people that we're with now, or that we have been with, we're not going to be within 6 months. We're going to create new partnerships and new endings and new beginnings.
Okay.
And in 6 months, it's almost like we're unleashing our superpowers. And right now we're discovering exactly what those are and putting them into effect. And that's what a lot of the eclipse season is taking things out of your life that no longer serve you and bringing new beginnings in. And it kind of just slowly unfolds based on the planetary alignments. Now, when it comes in terms of the coronavirus, we are in the same planetary alignment as with the Revolutionary War.
Sure.
So the protest and everything that's coming together, that all is the same planetary alignments bringing us the same exact energy and activating it. It's like when planets cross each other, they activate something within each other. It's all about energy. And so people are feeling that energy sometimes stronger than others. With the Venus retrograde, that's all about our values and self-worth and breaking down old systems and bringing new ones in. And that's basically kind of the gist of it, why studying astrology can really change your life.
Yeah.
Because when you can learn the energy and how it affects you, you can change your life. You
Yeah.
can become a whole different person when you understand how to take that energy and use it to your benefit.
When you say that relationships are going to change over the next 6 months because of what's happening with the planets and so forth, is that for everybody, or is that for a certain genre of people? I mean, I don't quite understand. Is that just like a broad?
Well, I think for everybody in general.
Okay.
But it's kind of based on which planets are in your chart and which houses. And so if you have a lot of, like, Uranus right now is playing a big role. That planet's all about change. So if you were to have Uranus in your 4th house, you could see drastic changes in your home life because the 4th house rules the home. If it was in your 10th house, like it is mine, drastic changes at work. 6th house, your life purpose. Everything, it's just all based on what planets land in your house and what's going on and being activated. It's how it affects you. That's the best way to look at it.
And how do you figure out houses?
Well, when you run your chart, you would run your name, where you were born,
Yep.
your date of birth, and then like the time you were born, and that gives you that planetary alignment for your own personal chart. And so it would show you which houses. Automatically just gives you a chart, and it shows you the planets and the houses and your sun sign, your rising sign, and your moon sign.
And that's what you do for people,
Yes.
basically.
Yep.
So if they would contact you And the easiest way to contact you probably is through Facebook, I'm
Yes,
assuming?
Messenger on Spiritual Voices podcast is the easiest way.
Okay, so if anybody listening or watching wants to know what's in their houses and a little bit about their future, that would be a good place to contact you.
Yes, definitely.
Awesome.
So you think social unrest is written in the stars, and then you can read that?
Oh, yes.
Wow.
I think we are, with the coronavirus, and right before the coronavirus hit,
Yep.
all right, and I talked a little bit about it with my stepdaughter and I's podcast, right before everything hit. I had a vision, and I was talking to, I'm not sure who the person was, that could be for another podcast, but she was telling me, she gave me her name, and she told me that the shift was here. Big changes were coming, and to watch for March 4th, because that was going to have a huge impact. Personally, I thought it was a huge impact for me.
Yeah.
And then she told me that we're starting the Ascension. It's going to be a 7-year process. There's going to be another wave of coronavirus in some shape or form in 2027, except for it's going to have a bigger impact than this one did. And then by 2029, the final part of the Ascension will be complete. And part of that conversation, I told her, I said, okay, I said, just protect my community. And she said, okay, we will. And it's funny because with the coronavirus, nobody in my community has gotten it. In my county, we had 69 people.
Sure.
But the town, no, I don't know anybody who's had it.
No, I personally don't know anybody who's had it
Right.
either.
And then like March 4th, that was the day when coronavirus in our area started hitting the news big. And
Yeah.
then it kind of all made sense. And I had dreams showing me about work, and all that happened. They showed me people leaving before I knew what was going on. So I think it's the coronavirus is all about the Ascension. It's the beginning of the process, and taking out the people who sadly weren't going to be able to handle the vibrations and the frequencies that are going to be rising. So you either have people who are going to go crazy and step outside their box and do weird stuff because they can't handle that vibration, or you're going to have the people who embrace that vibration.
Well, we're seeking like individual ascension, but is this some kind of
It's a collective
social
whole. Yes,
ascension?
it's a collective whole. We as a collective whole, we are all connected. As a universal whole, we are all one. And so we have to raise that vibration together. It's almost like a spiritual warfare.
Is
The
it
light
anything
and
to
the
do
dark.
with dawning of the age of Aquarius?
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. That's the same thing, yes. It's exactly what it is. And we're going through the 7 stages right now, and it's sort of like a spiritual awakening for all of us with our chakras. The first year is all about the root chakra and building that vibration and building our security and building a new ground to stand on. That's why the old barriers and the old systems are being broken down right now, is so we can recreate. It's going to take a 7-year process of healing the planet and healing
Right.
ourselves and growing, but that's exactly what we're headed towards.
You were on our show January 22nd, and you talked about meditation and chakras, breathing in satisfaction, breathing out gratitude. I'm not going to forget that. The 7 chakras from the base to the crown, with the heart being the key.
Exactly.
So maybe you can just give us a little review of that, because we've already covered that. You've been there already on this show and talked about it, but just a little bit of a review on.
Well, yeah, the heart chakra is the bridge. So all your past and when you were growing up is all stored in your lower chakras. And so for your spiritual awakening to happen, you have to open your throat chakra, your third eye, and your crown chakra. The heart is the bridge. So if that's closed off, so is everything else. But that's what we're doing now as a collective whole. We're healing that heart chakra and finding new ways of being, and then everything's going to ascend and open up even more. Everybody's psychic. Everybody has those gifts. It's tapping into that. We were literally meant to communicate telepathically and be able to read each other. That's what we were made to do. We are souls. These are just bodies and vessels. They're just holding our energy, our essence. We were meant to connect spiritually.
And
That's who we
language
are.
is really only a symbol of our feelings.
Exactly.
We only have the alphabet to work with. There's so much that is not being said. That's
Yeah.
inside of us. It's not being said.
That's exactly it. It's it's going to be a long ride, and this right now the coronavirus and everything's sort of like a beta test to see how well everybody could handle that energy. 2021, it's probably going to get worse, only because there's still going to be breaking down the systems. There's going to be that civil unrest and that breaking down. And I think the more, that's why I'll send out like a coronavirus report and the guided meditations for people to let go of fear. Because the coronavirus is sort of like the darkness, the dark and the light. We're fighting the darkness, and if you fear something, the darkness can attach to it and it holds on. But if you send something light and love and healing, the darkness doesn't like the light.
Right.
It wants to stay away. So the more we have faith that everything is going to be okay, the sooner everything goes away. And I think that's the part of the light workers, is try to raise that vibration and get that message out, because we're all light workers. Anybody who has a podcast and is trying to get a message out there, we're light workers. There's a message to be sent out there, and we're going into a point of like spiritual warfare. It's time to push that message in any way we can.
Yeah.
Sorry.
At one
No.
point, I was avoiding spiritual warfare. I mean, because I went through like Vietnam. I had a lottery number, which meant I got to go to Vietnam if I was lucky enough to get drawn. I thought that was unlucky stuff, but I haven't been the same since then. I mean, there was different feelings back then, political feelings back then in Vietnam. It was a whole different world, and now it seems like the world is all of a sudden turned upside down. I don't think all bad has come of this. I mean,
Right.
Kim can testify to that, spending time with her family.
Right.
You, Mary
Exactly,
Bassett,
yes.
spending time with your family. This would never have happened. All this time, all this family time would have never happened.
That's exactly, well, the universe wanted us to slow down. It wanted us to connect with what really matters, and that's the
Right.
heart chakra, love. Connecting with, actually sitting down and having to connect with people instead of going all the time.
Right.
But I didn't
miss-
want any enemies back then in Vietnam. I didn't want any enemies. And I didn't think that I had to fight this spiritual war. But here I am right in the middle of it.
Well, that's because you're a light worker. You don't have a choice. Everybody's being called up. And more people are going to be awakening, and they're going to be seeing that it's right. It's in the Bible. That's what we're doing. And we'll prevail, without a doubt. But we just have to do it with love and compassion and kindness and caring.
As awful as what the coronavirus is, it has brought me and my family closer, and we've bonded more as a family. And I actually have a lot of positives about it, you know. So that even though it's awful.
Yeah. If you have groceries in the refrigerator, you're doing good.
Exactly. Nope. We're blessed.
It made us slow down and see what's really important in life.
That is
What really
totally
matters.
true.
Now, you were scheduled to come back in April. Of course, all the podcasts got canceled.
Yep.
And the idea there was to do a reading, astrological reading for Kim Kolean. Now, I didn't get to hear the results of that, so I'm interested in to see, to hear what happened with that.
Well, I actually took about 6 pages of notes. And she was so detailed that when she did that for me, she would actually give me specific dates, like on or around April 4. And it was very specific. And I mean, I can't go through all of this, you know, but it was interesting to see how she would break it down for me. Like, for instance, on the 16th of April, she would say, you're going to have some mood swings today. Your senses are heightened. You can tell if someone is lying to me. You know, I need to keep my heart open, and you're going to get some new information that's going to start a new beginning for you. I mean, that specific. And then what I could do is, you know, right around the 16th, I could see if any of those predictions had come true, because I have no way to manipulate that. Maybe the mood swings I do, but and then she would jump a couple days, and then she would say, the past is going to come back. Today you're going to feel love and life. You're going to remember an event from the past, and don't let anybody steal away my glory. you're going to have a memory, a wonderful memory, or a possible fear of the past. And then she would go on and say, the 21st, maybe some negative energy is going to be surrounding that day. Your happiness could be slipping, and watch it slip through your fingers, and there could be some conflict.
Well, you're a cancer survivor.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
could see a fear of the past.
Yeah.
Maybe those memories coming
You just
up.
don't know what in particular that's going to encompass, if that's a relationship-based conflict or a medical conflict or a fight with somebody. You just don't know what all that entails, but to have that kind of information and to say, wow, she foresaw that in my future, and then this is what happened based on what she foresaw in my future, is an amazing power. And I was honored to have this information given to me by you, and I fully enjoyed my reading. I loved it.
Thank you.
I could go on, but
I know
this is not my show. So.
Yeah. I know you shared a story about getting your puppy and
Oh my
a prediction
gosh.
that Mary made.
Mary
for
and
you.
I have become friends, right? Over since probably January, we become friends. And I showed her the puppies, and we had a choice of 5 puppies. I gave her the pictures, and these are all the girls, these are all the boys. And these are the 2 puppies that we kind of fell in love with just based on what the picture looks like. And she's like, no, I like Robin. That was the name of a little boy puppy. And I'm like, no, Robin's not one of our choices.
Right.
By gum, guess what puppy we chose?
It wasn't Batman.
No, it was Robin, which is now Milo, by the way. And Milo is a fabulous puppy. And this whole time, Mary predicted we would get Robin. And he was like our last choice. How did she know we were going to get Robin?
Right. I don't know.
It was in the stars.
Yeah.
It was.
There you go.
There you go.
Is that where you found the answer in the
Well,
stars?
it was kind of, some of it's a gut. Just like a lot of the things when I start to do the astrology,
Yeah.
a lot of it's channeled too. It's the basic energy, and then I write what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
That's why I just knew when we talked about, the male energy, and then I started describing them, that was all channeled. It just kept on popping up every time I wrote something. I'm like, okay, there's something. But how do you tell somebody you don't know very well?
Yeah.
It's just, and then when you wanted to call me and talk to me about it, and you told me, I love that kind of validation where when you don't know for sure, you're just giving it to somebody.
Yeah.
And so when somebody says, I can't believe that's spot on.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I knew that.
Right.
Yeah, I did.
You're so ambitious. Kim brought that up. You wear so many hats.
Yeah.
You're Reiki master.
Yes.
Esoteric healer.
Oh, energy worker, yes.
Okay.
Same thing.
Okay.
And into astrology, you do the astrology forecast.
Yes, I love astrology. I do the astrology forecast because I learned how much it changed my life.
Sure.
Energetically. And like you said, when you can write down everything that's coming for you, you know how to deal with that day. It makes your day different.
Yeah.
It really does. And then I'm a channeler, psychic reader, and that's what I do. I have my spiritual voices shop over in Hastings, and haven't been able to get there for the last couple of months.
Sure.
But that's my passion. I have my job, but I have my passion. It's what I love to do.
Yep.
The spiritual work is, I think, very, very important to feed people's souls.
That positive energy is infectious. And you've infected both Kim and me.
I know, right?
Kim and I, because now we're part of it. Explain what's going on with cryptic frequencies, if you would, please.
Well, we created the podcast together, the Cryptic Frequencies, and that's just a really good way, another way to get the spiritual work out. But when everything shut down, I would talk to you, and I could feel you giving up, like you were just so, not, I wouldn't say depressed, just down.
Right.
You were
Yeah.
tired.
Sure was.
That's what I felt, was the exhaustion. I'm like, no, you can't give up. There's other ways to do things. There's more than one way to skin a cat.
Yeah.
I guess that's not a really great term. I don't know even why I said that. But
Cat lovers, there are no
Sorry.
cats
yeah,
being
no
skinned
offense.
here.
Sorry. But there's more than one way to do things. And then I remember actually channeling that message for you about the chakras and the 7 years. And then like a light bulb went off because I was trying to record with my friend Kristen Roberts the week before, and nothing worked. It wouldn't record. I couldn't. And so for me, the universe is trying to tell me something. Okay, this, you're on the right track, but this is not it. And then like I was talking to you, and like the light bulb went off. I'm like, oh my gosh, a radio station.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, I got to give him a way to keep doing his podcast. I got to show him you can still do it. You don't.
Yeah.
There's not just one way. And then so I started researching, and I found the Blog Talk, and then created the internet radio station itself, and then we could use the Blog Talk to record.
How many people do you know go out and create their own radio station?
I wanted one.
That is wild. So Blog Talk Radio, you can find us three on Blog Talk Radio, and maybe Brandon too. Brandon Jose couldn't be here tonight. He's normally one of our co-hosts.
Yep.
We hope he'll be here at the end of the month.
He's from Kent County Paranormal. You can look them up on Facebook for Brandon. So just a shout out for them.
Yeah, for sure. This has been fun already. We did one show. We got one already done, and many others. It's pretty much the same theme as this show, and that's mysterious.
Yeah.
You know, I started out billing us as paranormal and found out, like, when my Bigfoot people said, hey, we're not paranormal, we're Bigfoot. And I thought, well, okay, well, you're still spooky and mysterious, so I needed a new definition for our show.
That's
but
perfect.
the mysterious is what we do on Blog Talk Radio on Cryptic Frequencies, and here on Grand Rapids Ghost Hunters Paranormal Podcast, pretty much the same thing.
Yep.
We're going to have the opportunity maybe to talk to some people around the world. I'm anxious to see how that works. It's a little bit of a problem with the different time zones.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
We can figure it out, though.
That'll be fun if we can talk to someone from
fun.
Ireland or Australia, my friends from Australia.
That's what makes it great about the Blog Talk, is because they can call in and you're able to, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard connecting at first, but once you get it on there, it's fine.
Yeah, it worked.
It did.
It's a little harder, I think, than this, even because you're not right in front of everybody. You don't know exactly when they're going to shut up, and then time for the next person to talk.
I'm always afraid I'm going to interrupt somebody and be like the rude person, you know.
If you got a point, make it, you know.
Do what you got to do.
Okay. I'll do that.
So, yeah, we're going to have some fun with that. I don't know if we covered everything. You also did a reading on your way over for Kim.
Oh, that
I did.
So, I'm anxious to hear
I'm on
about
pins and
that.
needles.
All right, so basically I'll explain how I read first. And a lot of times when I'm reading for somebody, my favorite people to read for are people that I don't know who they are and I don't know their names. Because I get much more of an accurate reading because I'm connecting with their energy. As an energy worker, I connect with your energy, and I feed off of that to channel with. And so a lot of times, obviously we're social distancing, so I can't hold your hand. I like to hold your hand, and then I write down what I get, or I can meditate before I see you. So when I get my readings, the first thing I ask is, let me give you the first part first. Don't feed into anything I say. Just say yes or no, and then you can tell me what you connected with, and then I'll draw cards for validation.
Gotcha.
Okay? So the first thing that I got for you was that something for you is coming full circle, and there's a theme to it, like the same record playing over and over again. So you've done this before. So something's come full circle, but it's like you're playing the same old record. And the goal is there's a lesson to be learned for you in that, and it's not necessarily a bad lesson, but if you can grow from it, you raise your vibration and you level up. So you might go through the same kind of cycle again, because everything cycles planetary wise, but you'll learn a different lesson. I feel like that's a goal for you, is to continue to raising that vibration and learning different lessons.
Okay.
Okay. So it was the same dance, a different day, but it's time for you to change your tune. And then I heard that only time will tell. And then sometimes I get weird stuff, so I'm not sure what this means.
Okay.
But there's something about a smell that's going to tell you that a situation is off. So be sure to trust your instincts. And personally, I never give like a doom and gloom thing, but I felt more that was like a warning, not necessarily a bad thing, But like if you're somewhere and something smells funny or something feels off to you, trust that instinct and just leave. Okay.
Wow. I mean, this is something that could potentially happen
And I got chills.
in
so
the future.
Yes, and I got chills. So on my
is
left side. So
What does that mean?
a lot of times that's spiritual validation for me, is when I'm connecting with somebody and I've got that answer right. That's Spirit's way of saying yes. That's what she needs to hear. That's
Wow.
Yeah,
that's a
we've heard
message.
that before about getting the goosebumps
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
to be
we've gotten the
honest-
goosebumps before, like
Right.
you and I.
at the same time.
Yes.
And that's Spirit's way of connecting with you. And since I feel like there was a male energy that was connecting with me to give you that message, and since I get the chills on my left hand side, I feel like that's validation for me that
Okay.
there's like a guardian angel that wants you to hear that message.
So
Okay.
I need to be aware of a smell
Yes.
and use that as a warning sign.
And trust your gut.
Okay.
You know, when you feel something's off, trust the gut.
Okay.
And then I kept on seeing a man walking back and forth. Like I see his room and I see the doorway and the walls are shaded. They're in shadow, but I can see him pacing back and forth in front of the door, and he's wearing a blue and white striped shirt, stripes that go across, and maybe khaki shorts, but I can't see the shorts. But he keeps walking back and forth, and he has his hands clapped behind his back, and I hear that something that has been unforeseen, and he's pondering and thinking about something and working something out, and there's some kind of help that needs to be asked for. So I'm not sure what that means. I'll send this home with you.
Okay.
So at some point it might make sense, because a lot of times I will give readings to people and they have no idea what I'm talking about until they go home. They're like, that now it didn't make sense.
Okay.
Okay. Then I'm told to tell you that you are timeless, tried and true, and you are Mother Earth. Like when I'm being shown this, I see you as like a tree, well rooted and grounded, but you're the strength and stability for everybody else. And that sometimes you need to be reminded of that strength. And because you're more strong and powerful than you think. And then I heard diamond ring, and I have no idea what that means. All I do is write down what I'm getting as I get it. And then I got for you that change is definitely on the way. And this is a dawn of a new day, and there's going to be a new beginning for you. And this one kind of confused me with the way it was said to me. I got out with the N and in with the old. Something's going to be revisited and something is going to be relived. And this is where a journey begins. And there's a lending of a helping hand. So if you need help, to accept the help. But
Okay.
I do feel like something is coming back to you for you to revisit and relive it. But to have no worries that any challenge that rises up for you, you're going to conquer. But there is something that's going to come up that needs to be defeated in some shape or form. And that's basically what I channeled on the
Okay.
way over here.
Well, that's very interesting.
Okay.
Some of that stuff is very specific.
I know, especially about the man
And what he's wearing, yeah.
pacing back and forth.
So if you're aware, you should be able to tune into that
Well,
when that's happening.
I'm
if
a
you
little
can
freaked
remember
out
that.
right now, especially about the smell and the pacing man.
Smell is important.
And
sense.
I couldn't tell if the man was the male energy that's connected with you.
Sure.
And he's trying to think about how to give you the message, or if it's somebody in your life. That one I couldn't tell apart. I couldn't tell.
So do you feel like it's a man who is going to be giving me some information that could be life-changing?
I think so. I think because in here he's pondering and thinking, and he's trying to work something out. And there's going to be help that needs to be asked for.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll get my cards and a little bit of a smaller space.
Some of our oldest memories are associated with the sense of smell.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. Goes back farther than any sensation.
Oh, yeah. I mean, as a child, Grandma and Grandpa's house,
Right.
when they would lay the manure.
Cookies.
No, the
Oh,
manure.
no, I got better memories than that. My grandma making bread and cookies.
You
yeah.
know what, though?
Not
Even
spreading manure.
It's a good memory for me because it was like the windows were open and it was good times.
I
and
grew up
happy
country,
times.
so I know those smells too.
Yeah, I know. That's weird, right?
Right.
Okay, the first cards I get for you are Warrior Woman and Morning. Now, so this is kind of like the core of you,
Okay.
what's going on right now. And I think it's a part of it is finding new strengths within yourself, finding a new you. Like you were already wonderful, but finding, awakening that inner power versus, as moms,
Yeah.
we focus on our kids and our family. But the call is for you to focus on you and find that inner warrior.
Okay.
Okay.
That might be difficult. I mean, I know it's in there, but just to,
I know.
I mean, the motherly instincts and stuff.
Okay. So the life lessons in the past, I feel like obviously, and this is why it's a struggle when I know, pieces of somebody's past.
Yep.
You've had the struggles with cancer
Right.
and things like that, and feeling like you've fallen on your face.
Yep.
That impacts you greatly, and I think the fear of that is what holds you a little bit back with opening up that warrior woman, where if you let go of that, then you feel like raw and open. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, especially now. Okay, so the last time I got tested for my cancer was in December. Well, the world has changed, right? And so I haven't seen any doctors and all this kind of stuff. And so I'm actually due to see my doctor, my oncologist, on June 15. So right now I'm living that, every 6 months, waiting for that answer
To come back.
Yeah. And then there's this cloud that's constantly over my head, like, when's that day going to happen when my cancer comes back? Because I know it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's untreatable. So it manifests itself to grow slowly over time. So like I've been in remission for 2 years. So in my head, I'm like, well, I'm a ticking time bomb, because if I go by what the medical reports say for the type of cancer I have 5 to 15 years to live. So if I say, oh my gosh, I'm already 2 years into this, I only have 3 years left potentially, I have a 6-year-old at home and a teenager, and it's like, this is what holds me down and puts me in the darkness. And I think maybe that's a little bit what you're talking about.
Yeah,
potentially.
And I think that's part of the message that I got here, to have no worries that any challenge that rises up, you're going to conquer it.
Right.
That there is something that comes up that needs to be defeated in some shape or form, but
Yeah.
not to worry about it, because
Right.
you're going to conquer it.
Okay.
To
It's almost like
go
you
of
got a
that fear.
constant shadow over you.
It's terrible.
Right.
I
can't
mean,
imagine.
people who live, people who have cancer and then all of a sudden they're cancer free, that's different. You don't have this constant, like every 6 months. Am I going to live? Am I going to die type thing, So that's what's hard. And I think that's what's holding me down.
Yep. I can
I
tell.
can see that.
Yeah.
Well, see, but these are really good cards. When I pull cards for like the here and now,
Yeah.
of what you're going through right now and what you have to look forward to, I see the Fool card, which doesn't mean you're a fool. It's all about new beginnings. It's a cycle. So
Okay.
it kind of validates what I got with the meditating, is you're finishing off a cycle and you're starting a new one. And the Sun card's all about getting your wish. Getting a wish and happiness and having good things happen to you. Like, you are well protected and well guarded. So don't have any worries. Let go of those worries. Because a lot of times when you worry, you hold that energy there and it's stuck.
Yeah.
Versus just having faith and love and light and knowing that everything's going to be okay. It'll free your soul.
Okay.
Okay.
So if you guys are
like
just
that.
listening to this, Mary right now has a deck of tarot cards and
Yep.
she's reading them right now. So if you're just on the journal listening, that's what's going on here in the studio. I'm guessing 4 suits in there.
Yes, a typical tarot deck. The four suits, and then you have your major arcana and your minor arcana. And so when I get that sun card, that's a major arcana. That's a life lesson for you, is that moving forward and knowing that everything is going to be okay. And I, like you just talked about, that's a struggle for you,
Yeah.
but it's also that message that's being given to you that you're going to be okay.
That gives me great hope, and it makes my heart feel good, you know, where you telling me these things makes my heart open, and I feel positive instead of negative. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, hearing you say these things is so beneficial, and I really appreciate it. It's wonderful.
Faith, hope, and love. Those
Yeah.
are three important ingredients of life right there.
Yep.
It is. It really is. And I think, you know, that's where we're at spiritually as a collective whole, is moving forward with that. Now, for your future, I've got the Hermit card, the King of Swords, if I was doing the regular tarot, and then the Four of Wands. And when I get the Hermit card, that's almost for me. I don't go specifically by the direct tarot. I intuitively read them and connect with them. So when I see that, I see someone who needs to honor themselves and take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And you're going to be called up to take care of yourself first. I think that's part of like the warrior woman.
Yeah, you keep kind
Mandela.
of referencing that over and over again to
You
take care of myself.
you
put
have to make
myself
yourself
first.
happy.
Yeah.
And you know, we spend so much time giving our energy that it leaves you tired.
Yeah.
You give so much energy to everybody else that you're drained and there's nothing left for you. And that's where the negativity comes from more than you just worrying. Is so you're so tired that when you're done for the day, that's all you can think about because you don't have any energy to think about anything else. You have to do things that make you happy and feed your soul, things that you like to do. Mm-hmm. Watch the TV shows that you want to watch.
I know, right?
I know, that's a thing. I'm just
That is
saying.
a
I know
thing.
I don't even have to be psychic to know that that's a thing. A woman she never gets to watch what she wants to watch on TV.
Oh my gosh. So during the coronavirus,
They should have his and her remote controls.
Oh,
They
yeah.
should.
So we got Netflix, right? During the coronavirus thing, which we never had before. I found a couple shows that were Kim shows.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I was digging it, man. I'm like,
My
this
wife's watching something I'd prefer not to. Right.
Everyone had to leave while I watched my shows, right? And it was wonderful. I loved it.
It is a good thing.
It is.
It is.
You know what? We never got back to this intro, whether it was related to you or not. So the thing was "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star."
It is. It is.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that was the song I put. That was the first song I learned how to play. Cause
I thought it was.
my daughter Jocelyn, she's a very gifted musician.
Yeah.
And so when she saw the hang drum, she was like, "Oh," and I was like, "No," I said, "You do not get to touch that until I learn one song." So I'm not gonna lie, she YouTubed it and taught me how to play "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star," and then I learned Mary had a little afterwards. But
Yeah.
Cool.
mostly it's just fun to make
Mary
your own
brought her
songs.
hang drum into the studio. I don't know if we want to take a break just to look at it, but I do want to hear it. I want to hear some.
I want to hear
some
just a
tunes
little
on it.
snippet. Yeah.
If we'll pick up or not.
I could try.
I didn't know somebody could play "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star" on the drum. Here we go. I'm going to be
Okay.
quiet now.
Okay.
So, Mary's playing it with her fingers, her hands. I think you need a guy playing the flute at the same time.
Almost, yeah.
It's kind of an aerobic workout. She's all over that drum.
I'll show you guys how to play it.
Oh yeah, I like that.
That was cool.
I like the sound of it. Obviously, there's a lot of players out there much better than I am. I just kind of tap on it, but It's very soothing. It's a really great way to, drumming in general, really is a really great way to raise your vibration and to get out negative energy and to soothe, really just to soothe your soul, playing music in general. And
So
it's a
much
lot of fun
about
to play.
meditation is those vibrations.
It is.
Whether you're using crystals or...
It is. It's all about the vibration. It's all about the energy. And, that's, I think, as a collective whole, where we're going is a frequency. I'd like to share something I channeled today. I was sitting at work, and this was some kind of important message because I felt the energy shift completely. Like energy moved through me, and then my right ear started ringing. And a lot of times when your ear starts ringing, it's like an angelic message or a message from your spirit guides, a message from spirit.
I never knew that either.
And research it, because it's not like a constant ringing in your ear, but a lot of times when I hear it on the right side, it's a female energy. On the left side, it's a male energy. And a lot of times it's a higher spiritual being, like an ascended master or your spirit guides or angels. Wow. So I took the time to stop what I was doing and to channel a message. And the message was to feel the frequency and just be. Because I think my take on it is in the next 3 weeks, the frequencies, the vibrations of the universe are going to keep raising. And that's where you see the chaos come from with people is they don't know what to do with that energy. They don't know what it is. They're not spiritually awakened, so they don't understand what they're experiencing. They just know they've got to do something with the energy, and not everybody's a good person. Some people make bad choices.
Yeah.
And something is coming 3 weeks to this day, and it's going to be important to. I get chills all over again.
Oh, great.
It's going to be.
So that's a confirmation.
It's going to be really important to listen to what people are saying, but more important to watch what they do. You're going to watch something align, and then you're going to watch it realign. And then I heard something falls down, and we all fall down like London Bridge, like that song. I kept on hearing that song, when the little nursery rhyme, London Bridge is falling down. And no longer are we going to dance to the same tune. Then I wrote 3 weeks, 3 days, and 3 different alignments, which is weird because you asked me about 3 full moons.
Yeah.
I thought there was 3 full moons.
Yeah, that
or
actually
something.
came from Wayne.
Sometimes there might be something with that. Sometimes there are 2 full moons. I've experienced. I would
Maybe
have
it
to
was 2, I
research
don't
that.
know.
But there's been times where there's 2 full moons in 1 month. But we're
that's probably
definitely-
what it is. My friend Laura Briggs I was talking with her. I did set my crystals out in the full moon a few
good
nights
for you.
ago.
Good for you.
Yeah, so I'm getting recharged. Well, I think we covered currently pretty good. I mean, you got Across the Golden Veil, you got Spiritual Voices podcast, you got the Astrology Forecast podcast, Blog Talk Radio, Cryptic Frequencies. Upcoming events, I think we need to move on to that. And Mid-Michigan Paranormal Convention. I think you know something about that. I think maybe one of your friends is going to be there.
Oh, well, Kristen Roberts, psychic medium, and she goes to all of those. She's very gifted. So, yeah, if you're gonna go to that, stop by and get a reading from her. She was my mentor, and she'll blow you away with the readings she gives you.
November 8th in Flint, Michigan. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know exactly all who's going to be there, and it probably has changed.
Yeah, I haven't checked into who else is going to be there, but.
And then upcoming, we have another podcast at the end of the month. We're having a really fascinating person come in, and she has a long list like you do. She's journalist for the Paranormal Muskegon. She's also did an article on Darren, our friend Darren with Lakeshore Paranormal, and Jamie Ray. She's a tarot card reader and a numerologist. We've never had a numerologist in here. We've had cryptozoologist,
Right.
astrologist.
Yep.
And so she was 10 years with MUFON as a field investigator, and she had multiple alien abductions. And it's Marie Cisneros. She's also CEO of Cygnus Research. She has 3 medical degrees. Yeah, so investigative journalist. She's going to be a far-out person.
I cannot wait to meet her.
One of the people that we had in here was Bill Konkoleski
Yes.
with MUFON.
Yep.
And he heads up MUFON, so he was kind of like her boss. So-
Right, and 10 years as a field investigator. She's got to have some pretty good stories.
Right, and I'm hoping. Right, she
Yeah.
says I call her fascinating. She says most people just call her weird.
We
But-
like, hey, we
It's
like
better
weird.
to be. It's
Weird.
better
We like
to be weird.
Weird works here too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, any upcoming with you, Mary?
The only thing that's upcoming for now is at the end of the month in July, the Gypsy Goddess Festival over in Elgin County Fairgrounds. I'll be there with the radio station and with my stepdaughter, Sarah PXL, and I'll be doing, channel readings there. And
Oh, I hope I see more on that. So, because that's right in our area, Allegan. That's not too far to drive. Flint, a little bit for us here in this area, but not too bad. And then I like to do a shout out or salute. We already mentioned Brandon Jose, couldn't make it.
Yep.
Sarah Bassett was to be here. We missed half the show. I had stuff I had to talk about her true crime
yes,
podcast.
she has a friend over in Salem that she does the true crime with.
Yeah, I really wanted to talk about that. And then you guys do Paranormal XL together,
Yes.
podcast, and maybe some ghost hunting too.
A little bit. She's done more of the ghost hunting than I have. But yeah, we've gone to a couple cemeteries and a couple of homes.
I don't know where you find time for all this stuff, but you're very busy. So,
She does have a full-time job too, people.
yeah. Our last podcast, we like to go back and thank those people too, was Phil Shaw, and he's a Bigfoot guy.
Right.
This here is 24 inches by 8 inches, and this is the measurement that, according to Phil Shaw, this is the size of a Bigfoot. If you saw that out in the woods, you might not want to follow it, I would think.
Right.
You might want to be going the other way. So thanks to Phil. It's actually 2.4K. That's our number 1 show so far.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Sasquatch people out there.
Oh, I know. And we should remind people too how they can go back and watch some of our previous shows
Right.
that are really popular.
Yeah, you can come here on the station, tune in there and watch those shows or listen to them on the journal.
Yep.
And then I'm wearing this shirt is from the UP Bigfoot Sasquatch Research Organization. Specifically, Rick Meyer sent me this shirt during the virus. He took time out. I mean, he charged me for it, but I mean, $15 for this shirt was a deal.
Yeah, it was.
And then Bill and Connie from Grasp, they did the Paranormal Summit this last weekend, so I'll get a shout out to them, a salute. And then, of course, everybody here at WKTV, the Whole Picture Podcast, Tom, Nate, Davin, everybody, the interns. We have Cole with us, intern tonight, helping us out. And I think we should move right into the final thought.
Yep.
And the final thought is Wizard of Oz. What character are you from the Wizard of Oz if you had to be a character from the Wizard of Oz, and why? Because we're almost out of time. So
Okay. Do you want me to go first?
sure.
My husband would probably say the Wicked Witch.
Oh no.
Oh, no, just kidding.
Yikes.
I know, right?
You looked kind of witchy last Halloween. You looked
Oh.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Those eyelashes you had on.
I know. I was Maleficent. For somebody who wants to go back and watch our Halloween episode, it was pretty cool.
It's a good one to watch.
It's a good one to
with
watch.
Chatan Noir.
I feel like I'm Dorothy because after my reading tonight, I feel like I'm on a path. I'm on a path. I don't exactly know where I'm going.
You're going back home.
And I'm going to go back home, and the path is long and treacherous. And I'm going to be meeting new people along the way that could help me. Mm-hmm. And, boy, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Did you just come up with that off the cuff?
Well, the wizard. I started out as a wizard. I thought we might as well end with a wizard.
I have got goosebumps.
Yeah, I got a little bit too.
Thinking I'm Dorothy.
My hair's standing up.
Gosh. I swear, you and I are like on a cosmic
know. We're
whatever.
on a wavelength.
We're on a wave. Him and I get the goosebumps all the time
Yep.
together. Like when we talk about stuff, I'll look at him and be like, I got goosebumps. He's like, so do I.
See?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm Dorothy. I'm on a mission to go home.
Mary.
I would say I'm Glenda the Good Witch.
Oh, totally.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm in a room of
Totally.
witches.
Yeah. I always, when I was growing up, I loved her dress. It
Oh,
was
me
super
too.
pretty. But speaking of, Dorothy, that is the whole meaning of that movie, is a spiritual awakening. If you research it when you go home, you'll see that's the truth. They compare that to that spiritual awakening. When I started going into my spiritual awakening, I had dreams of the Wizard of Oz in the Yellow Brick Road. So it's a very good topic, very smart.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
I guess with my natural features,
The Cowardly Lion.
I would be the lion. I would be the lion.
But you're not a coward.
Either that or I'm probably one of them flying monkeys.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's okay. That was kind of fun. I think we need to wrap it up here.
Yep.
And I want to tie it back into the beginning. And what the wizard told us in the beginning was always, always be what you is, not what you is not. So, celebrate our differences. I think that's the message tonight. Embrace what makes us unique. I think that's the important part. I think that's it.
Yeah.
That's my message.
Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Thank you.
Peace out.